Welcome to Wild. I'm your host, Robin Lavasser. They say our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. It's being powerful beyond measure. In this podcast, I will share how to break through imaginary ceilings, lean into success, discovering your purpose, and understanding how to create the business and life of your dreams. From failures to triumphs and all the tactics in between, let's jump into the wild arena together. Welcome back to Wild with Robin Lavasser. Do you know how to juggle? I want you to picture yourself for a minute juggling. I can tell you this, I've never been a good juggler. I can't juggle now. However, I love the analogy, if you will, the metaphor of juggling and the four balls that as a lone originator, you need to stay focused on at all times and recognize when you have dropped one. And I'm going to go through that today because this is going to be a super tactical, just business episode. I always love to draw some inspiration for wild episodes. And, my Ripple Effect email, by the way, if you're not on my Ripple Effect email and you want to be, shoot me a message either on social or via email. And I would love to get you on the list. I write it every Monday. It comes out and it's just more of words and mindset and different lessons and takeaways all in business. Would love to have you on there. It's not a spam email by any means, but if you want to get signed up, please let us know. Very big deal to understand the four balls that you should be juggling at all times as a lone originator. And what I love is when you understand keeping all four balls in the air, when production drops, you don't panic, you diagnose. What we do instead is we make it complicated and we focus in the wrong areas. Oh, I have a closing that went wrong, or I have a borrower that doesn't like their monthly payment or their interest rate. And we start to shift directions on things that we are not our biggest focuses. That doesn't mean they aren't problems that we need to jump in and solve, but we're doing that and we've got to get back to juggling and juggling fast. So let's start with the four segments. What does each ball represent? Number one should be loud and clear to you. It's lead generation, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation. Nothing else matters if you don't have enough leads. We talk about that all the time. I love the saying, and I'd love for you to write it down if you never have. Leads solve all problems. Period. End of story. You have to have enough of them. So lead generation is the very first place. It's a ball that has to be in the air, and it should be in the air at all times with you catching it and throwing it back up, right? Number two, lead conversion. Conversion. Obtaining a ton of leads. I see this all the time. Somebody's like, I'm getting a ton of leads, but I'm not getting anywhere else. We have to do this in segments. So if you're getting a ton of leads, then you have to work on your conversion tactics, right? I always say a couple things go into lead generation: being highly active, highly visible. It's calls, it's texts, it's coffee, it's social, it's branding, it's events, it's database touches. It's all of these things. If you do not have enough conversations, you certainly are not going to have enough opportunities. It's really that simple. It's not emotional. It just says you have to be doing that. That's how you keep that ball in the air. So things to track in that space. I'm going to go backwards for a minute in the lead generation space. Conversations per day, new leads per week, realtor meetings or face-to-faces that you have on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. If that ball drops, just the lead conversion alone, everything else dries up for the next 30 to 60 days or 30 to 60 days later. It's almost like clockwork. I can look at somebody's tracking and go, oh, you went on a 3-week vacation, then you were sick, and now I can see that 60 days later, you're not having as many closings and you're emotional about the closings because one person shopped you or these borrowers didn't qualify. But the truth is, this right now is a reflection of not enough leads 30 to 60 days ago because you didn't have that ball in the air. Very, very, very big deal. And what I love is that it's so simplistic to immediately curb my emotions and say, what ball is not in the air right now? And how do I get it back up there? When we think we have a conversion problem, sometimes we're like, oh, I don't have enough applications. No, you generally don't have enough leads, and which means you have a contact problem. So every time you're in the lead ball space, I want you to think, how many people have I made contact with? How many people are on my calendar to make contact with? That's keeping that ball in the air. Are people people actually choosing you. And what I mean by that is conversion of a lead to me means that they've made application, submitted documents, and you've been allowed to pull credit. That's a converted lead. It's not just, I have a bunch of names, I have phone numbers, I have a reference of somebody who might be interested. That's all in the lead category. Now my ball is in the conversion category. So that process, if you will, in terms of conversion boils down. If it's broken and you're like, I have a ton of leads and I don't have enough applications, let's fix it. Let's get that ball back in the air. How do you do that? You convert leads through energy, story, follow up, process, confidence, how you were referred. If you are asking for what you need and want, meaning a true application, getting the credit pulled, getting the docs in, asking for business, if you are having those appointments with agents and, this is great, let me know if you ever need anything, so much different than converting it in a way that says, I'd like to have your next 3 leads so I can show you what I can do as a lender to earn you more money, to save you more time, right? To bring you more joy. It's those kind of conversations that are different when you're struggling with conversion. So I say conversion is in 2 spaces. 1, it's a lead into application. 2, it's a meeting into actually a referral partner or a new relationship. That's where you need to focus in the conversion space. So are you creating certainty for your borrowers and your referral partners who are about to give your name out? Are you following up more than once? Multiple times are you following up? And where's the metric to track these things? Application to lead ratio, huge deal. Appointment to application ratio, huge deal, meaning I had an appointment with a realtor, I got some leads, I was then able to get an application. And then those things are, again, energy, response time, confidence. If the leads are coming in, but you're not getting enough applications, if you're having a ton of meetings and a ton of great phone calls with referral partners, agents, business affiliates, but you're not seeing any leads, you have a conversion problem. Your activity is there, your conversion is not. This is where you want to focus at that point. The good news is this skill is absolutely learned, it's evolving, and it's controllable by you. It's not, none of these categories are a blame thing. My realtors are quiet. That's a victim mentality versus I understand what ball is in the air and which ones are on the ground. I'm going to pick them up and I'm going to get them back in the air quickly. So lead generation, lead conversion. Let's go to the next one. Applications, which is truly loan consultations. You could call it pre-qualifications, pre-approvals. I like to call it a true loan consultation after we've gained actual application. So when pre-approvals are of casual interest, how do you make them into serious shoppers, if you will? Not shopping in rate, but shopping for homes. How do you keep them going? So 1, if your pre-approvals are super low, you might not just be asking people the right questions, deep enough questions, enough questions to lead them to a space where they get serious. They have all knowledge is power, and knowledge generally helps people move and make decisions and become more committed in a space because they have an understanding. So you may be tolerating the just looking. Oh, I think we're going to wait 6 months. Oh, I'm glad we have the numbers. We plan on buying in the next year. We looked at a few houses. We didn't see anything. We're going to wait and see if prices come down, if rates come down, if outside circumstances get us there. You may be tolerating it. And here's what I would tell you. Those pre-approvals in general, they are and need momentum, and you are a huge catalyst of momentum in that space. Without that momentum, you don't control your pipeline. Period. End of story. You do not. So you have to be highly engaged with pre-approvals. If you're not getting enough pre-approvals because the quality isn't there, they're not ready, they're not truly interested, they won't commit to doing a loan consultation, you've got to get better referral sources. So you have to go back into the lead generation and the lead conversion and look at, hey, what's causing this next step, right? Because we're trying to keep all the balls in the air at the exact same time. So without you understanding and having enough loan consultations, you won't have a big enough pre-approval pipeline. And without a big enough pre-approval pipeline, you can't create enough of the 4th category, which is contracts. So I love the contract stage. I think we all do, because this is where we say, I only have to have 4 balls in the air. I don't have to add a 5th one. I have to constantly focus on these 4. And contracts is the 4th one. Now on a refinance, obviously that's locking in the loan and turning it into processing. On a purchase, it's Are you gaining enough contracts? I've talked to countless loan officers this year who have started to panic. And I've asked them very specifically, did you get enough leads in January? Are you on track in February? Many of them have an abundance of leads. So category one, check the box. Conversion for some of them has absolutely struggled. Go work in that arena, right? Work on how fast are you following up? What's your barrier entry? How well are you being referred? Dissect the few things that make a huge difference in the conversion space. Some of them are like, I have a ton of leads, a ton of applications. I don't have any contracts. This is what's happening so commonly right now in the industry. Well, if you don't have enough contracts, you have to say, why aren't people engaged in buying? Why aren't they getting out there? And here's what I can tell. I ask all of them, how often are you in touch with your pre-approvals? There's always a little bit of a silence. I'm decent at it. It means you probably suck at it. Just so you know, when you're like, I'm decent at it, you would know if you're off the charts good at it. So this comes in two different places. To get contracts, one, are you coaching your buyers versus just consulting, if you will? Coaching is different than that, right? Oh, here's all your numbers. Happy house hunting. Way different than let's go through your non-negotiables on a house. Let's talk about all the things. Let's talk about how much you're paying in rent and make you uncomfortable and excited to own a home early in the year, because owning early in the year gives you more of a tax benefit, right? Gets you into that skip a payment, gets you into house now when projections in our county, by the way, you can look this up very easily on AI, is this much in appreciation. You get them motivated and excited. You get the agent completely bought into the plan and also motivated and excited. And then you stay in touch, because the truth is someone might go look at houses, see nothing that they like, no new inventory really comes on in their price range, and maybe the very fine pinpoint place that they want to buy. And you know, they've put a needle in a haystack to find that house, and they're going to sit in a pre-approval pipeline. And then one day they pop up with a different lender that has a lower interest rate, and they've completely left you. And it's because you weren't watering your field. You weren't keeping your ball in the air if you're juggling of contracts and how to convert. So coaching the buyers, equipping your agents. Those are two strategies I just gave you a little piece on. I could do a full podcast on both of them. Structuring strong offers. Now, if your mind just went to, I'm not the realtor, that's their job, I want you to say, smack, smack, smack across your cheeks. Like, not true. You need to be heavily engaged. You are the controller of the numbers and the money, which means you have to play a role, not only in buttering up and loving on that listing agent and showing them that you are going to deliver on that loan on time and be a fantastic partner. You have to help them strategize. Maybe they're stuck on the fact that the house doesn't have a garage and they wanted to put down 20%, but everything else lines out and they could put down 10, still love their payment and go after and build a garage. Maybe all of that would work, but you have to be engaged, because the numbers piece of it, the agent stays out of it. They simply go after the price and the offer acceptance. You are the key ingredient to making the very best offers come to fruition and keeping people engaged with knowledge and ultimately momentum around buying a house, finding a house, and putting all of the hopes and dreams and numbers and finances and balances into play. You're the key to that. So if you stay out of it and just wait for the contract to show up, no wonder you're not having an abundance of contracts showing up, because you're not playing a big enough role. So I would tell you, keep that ball in the air. It is a huge gap for people. And when there's a massive follow-up gap, how often are you communicating with those pre-approvals? It should be at least once a week. Now, you might do a checking in, but if you're doing an average, hey, how's house hunting going? Oh, we haven't seen anything. Okay, well, let me know if you need anything. Hey, I'm just leaving you a message to say, let me know if you need anything. You're not going to get anywhere. Your ball's only halfway in the air. You're not doing a great job of juggling. You're not doing a great job of really, truly performing for that pre-approved buyer and helping them get into contract. And you have so much more power than that to create momentum. And you have the desire because you want the closings. And the only thing that can create closings is contracts. So know that you have to start at the beginnings to get the end. So slow month, don't spiral. That's my advice. I want you to pull your numbers and ask yourself, do I have enough leads? Am I converting? Am I moving people to pre-approval? Are pre-approvals turning into contracts? One ball is almost always the culprit. And in a mature leadership, sales, business mindset, you're able to say things Like my conversion is at 32%. That's the constraint. I got to fix it here. And that's power versus rates went up. The market's quiet. Nobody's working right now. My agents were on vacation. It's been a weird spring break. And so it's just been quiet. It'll pick up next week. That's powerless. That's giving the market and your referral partners and borrowers all the control instead of you yourself saying, I'm the masterful juggler. I'm the showman and I'm going to make things happen. I'm putting on the show and I'm making sure the show closes well. So get after it. Pinpoint the one of four problems, know that other problems exist, but none of them hold weight the way the four do, and be the best juggler you can ever be. And that will take your business to a whole new level. If this was helpful, I hope you share it. We'll see you on the next Wild.